Good morning, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on this part series, the professional sports teams that didn't win a championship during that season. This is part 31. I'll be talking about the 1992 Pittsburgh Pirates. They were a team that went to the third consecutive National League Championship Series in 1992. They had won the division for the third consecutive season with a 96-66 record. But unfortunately, they lost to the Atlanta Braves again for the second consecutive season in 7 games in 1992, as like they did in 1991. So what I'm going to do is take a look at the 92 team. Obviously, they had Barry Bonds as the leading guy. And plus, this is his final year as the Pittsburgh Pirate. Now they had Kirk Gibson, Jay Bell, Van Slyke. I think Bobby Bonilla left. I think he went to sign with the Mets. I don't think he was on this team because the opening day starting lineup was Kirk Gibson, Jay Bell, Andy Van Slyke, Barry Bonds, Orlando Merced, Steve Purcell, Mike Valera, Jose Leanin, and Doug Draper. That was the starting lineup. So obviously Bonilla, left. Then he went to the Mets, at that time. So we're gonna look into this. First, we want to look into the stats of what this guy did, Barry Bonds. Bear with me for a minute. So did he win the MVP in 92? Yes, he did. He won League MVP, National League MVP in 92. He won his first in 1990. And he still lost, despite, Bonds being, the MVP. Now I'm going to go over the National League Championship Series between the Atlanta Braves, who had a 98-64 record. They had home field advantage this time. And this is the rematch. And it ended in dramatic fashion in the bottom of the 9th inning, Game 7, with the bases loaded. Atlanta was trailing 2-1. Francisco Cabrera hit a 2-run single that scored David Justice and Sid Bream. Bream famously slid to score the series winning run, being the throw that was thrown by Barry Bonds. And the Braves went on to the World Series for the second consecutive year. So let's go over I'm going to go over the games that were played during the Game 7. We're going to start with Game 1 in Atlanta. The Braves won 5-1. John Smoltz pitched against Drayback. The Braves scored all 5 of their runs in the first 7 innings. And Jose Lean hit a home run off of Smoltz. It was the first the Pirates had scored against the Braves in 30 innings, going back to Lean's RBI single in the Game 5 of 1991 in LCS. Then Game 2, Atlanta won 13-5. So they went up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. And then Game 3, Pittsburgh won 3-2. So it was 2-1. Then Game 4, it was 6-4 in favor of Atlanta. So they had a 3-1 lead in the series. But Pittsburgh came back. Pittsburgh won Game 5, 7-1. Then Game 6 in Atlanta, Pittsburgh won 13-4. So now we had a Game 7. So Pittsburgh was trailing 3-1, and they was able to come back and tie the series up and force a Game 7. And that's where they lost on a Francisco Cabrera base hit that drove in David Justice as well as Sid Bream and scored the winning run. And that was the beginning of the end for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as we knew them. If you were a baseball fan or if you were a Pittsburgh Pirates fan because this was the farewell end of the road for Barry Bonds. He went on to sign with the San Francisco Giants, and that was it. That was all she wrote. The Pittsburgh Pirates haven't been the same since that championship series. And another to note is that until 2008, the Braves were the last team in Major League Baseball to win a 7th game after blowing a 3-1 series lead. That year, the Tampa Bay Rays won Game 7 of the ALCS after blowing a 3-1 lead to the Boston Red Sox. So that was the beginning of the end for the Pittsburgh Pirates, because Game 7 of the 1992 National League Championship Series was the last moment, last game, Game 7 of the Championship Series of the National League between the Pirates and the Braves. Was the last game for Barry Bonds and Doug Drabek. Doug Drabek went to the Houston Astros, and Barry Bonds signed with the San Francisco Giants. So that's why I wanted to talk about the 1992 Pittsburgh Pirates. They were a team that could have won a championship that year, but they didn't. So that concludes this video, part 31 of the professional sports teams that didn't win the championship during that season, the 1992 Pittsburgh Pirates. Please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, do what you can to support the channel. I'll do a video tomorrow, then with this part series of professional sports teams that didn't win the championship during that season. Until then, talk to you tomorrow.